Thank you for picking up the Sticks. This is episode 85, Sticks Gaming Podcast. I am Mike Arnett. To my right, Myke, Steak Carnia.
What's going on?
To my left, Art, wanted in 3 states, Rosian.
That's 4 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, what did you do?
Busy weekend.
We'll talk about it off the air. Or after the statute of limitations expired. One of the two.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you for joining us. We got it's got news this time, which is a change of pace.
The first
from the
time
last
in like
couple.
2 months?
Yeah.
That's not missed by 1 day of recording last time.
I know. per the usual.
Yes.
We missed some semi-big as we recorded. I don't know how we changed anymore. Like, honest to God, like it's just bad timing. What are you gonna do?
It doesn't matter. Something's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. And Steak and I have been playing a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, so we're going to do kind of like a review in progress, I think is what we finally decided on in terms of our phrasing, as Art said a minute ago. Phrasing. But yeah, let's kick it off with Steak. What you playing?
All right. Not a lot, actually. But
I'm like a theme, because I know you.
Yeah.
I know you.
Do you? We'll see about that.
But I did finish my Final Fantasy VII playthrough.
Oh, congratulations.
It took me about 24 and a half, 25 hours. So it was good.
What did you play that on again?
Switch.
Okay, that's right.
Switch. Yep. So that was great. And I didn't. The only cheat I used was the 3 times speed to really jack up the battle speed.
That's not really a cheat. That's
just the additions that they had.
Yeah, it's a quality of life improvement.
Oh my God, it's so much
that
better.
makes more. You're saying 25 hours. I'm like, how did you knock that down to 25 hours?
Yeah. Because every time I had a summon, I made sure it was on triple time. So that It's the first time I did what was it? The Bahamut Zero. I was like, oh, I don't remember this. I'm going to not do it. And I was like, oh my God, this is the longest summon ever. I'm like, all right, going forward, make sure that triples on. See, only the boss battles is the only time I turn that off because you got to be kind of a little quicker and more strategic and stuff with the active battle. But normal battles, I hate triple time on the whole time and moving and everything. So, but yeah, so I'm ready for the remake. I'll forget the second third of the game, by the time that comes out.
By the time it comes out, you're going to be, you have dementia, you'll be senile. Yeah. You'll be like 65.
That thing plugged in? Sorry.
Should be.
All right.
I heard it click earlier.
All right, good. I see a gap I'm not used to.
Oh.
All right.
Click.
It's all good.
And then I dabbled a little bit more into Final Fantasy 14. Just still kind of in the early game. I hear once you hit level 16 is when it really starts. Like that's when you kind of start hitting. Like, all right, here's the meat of the story. Like at least the first part of it, the meat of the story. So I think I'm level 14 right now. So I'm right there. But then the game I've made the most progress in, besides the Final Fantasy, is Judgment.
Okay.
Progress in terms of I've done more stuff in it. I am on chapter 4 out of 13.
I can see. Weren't you on 3 last time?
Yeah. I'm on chapter 4. I have hit the 16.5 hour mark. I've been doing a lot of the side stuff, a lot of side cases, a lot of the friendly events, which is really kind of pivotal actually to do those because then the more you do that, your community builds up, and that's how you unlock more of the side cases and stuff, and more of those as well. But God, it's every time I dive in, it's just like, oh God, I make sure that I have time to play because if I don't have more than if I don't have at least hour and a half to 2 hours to play, it's like I'm gonna lose track of time, and then I'm screwed. Especially if it's later at night. It's like, all right, if I start this at 10 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'll just jump in. Yeah, right. It'll be 1 in the morning before I know it. It's like one of those kind of games for sure. So, but I'm totally digging it. But I mean, and then we'll talk about Ultimate Alliance later.
Nice. All right, which playing?
Oh, let's see. Old stuff. But let's not talk about Rainbow Six. Played a couple rounds of Blackout. I'm not good at that game. That's all there is to it.
That's how I felt about Apex Legends after it got popular. Like I said, all the games I won were all before it got popular, and then everyone flooded to it, and I stink. I was like, maybe I'll jump in and check out some of the new stuff. No.
You haven't talked about that in a while.
Nope, I have not.
I think Blackout might be down to the people who are really good at it, and everyone else kind of left for Apex or whatever other flavor of the month is out there. They went back to Fortnite or whatever the hell they're doing.
Maybe I'll boot back up PUBG. Just maybe I'll.
Maybe no one's
All that's left is the people who are obsessed with that game.
I know.
The one thing I did in there is they have the new in quotes, new to me. It's been around for a while. The Alcatraz map.
Yeah.
And it's like you're running around and it's battle royale, but there's zombies popping up and zombie dogs. You got to shoot them and like the classic zombie mode. I don't know so much about the newer one, but there's like waves of zombies. Mm-hmm. So if you die, as long as your teammates, one of them survives the wave, you can respawn.
Oh, cool.
And you airdrop back in, but of course you have nothing. So if someone who lived through all that sees you, you're dead.
How many people are on that map?
I didn't get a number.
I'm sure it's not 100.
I wouldn't think so, no.
Okay.
Played a little more Far Cry 3. It's still a Far Cry game.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that they do something like trippy, hallucinogenic in every one of those games. Mm-hmm. But in this one, like the hallucinations are more like backstory of how did all these teenagers get on this island? What led up? What were they doing? Partying on the island, things like that. So it's kind of cool. It's not the normal. I don't know what it was in New Dawn in 5 of the hallucinations where you were killing random people, and in 4 it was like the ancient backstory of your ancestors running around hunting tigers or something. So it's more interesting in that regard. That's usually my least favorite part of those games is the hallucination parts of it. New game I started playing, one Mike's talked about before, Baba Is You.
Ooh.
For the record, Baba is a sheep.
Maybe. It's a white thing.
It looks like a sheep.
Unless you change the words around, and Baba is wherever. Baba is wall.
Baba could be wall. I don't remember what the one I had one that was like I turned like wall is crab or something.
Yeah. You make mistakes like, oh man, I messed this whole thing up.
Wall is crab is you.
Yeah.
You just move the whole wall, the flag, and you win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting game. It's it's a puzzle game basically. I've definitely had parts where it's like, okay, I'm lost on this. I'm just gonna put it down for 20 minutes, walk away, and come back, and then figure it out in 3 seconds. One of the things that I guess it's more of a minor disappointment, I guess, is that like it's not completely free to make everything something else.
Because sometimes it's locked, you mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you'll put like whatever Baba is flag, and like it'll X out like 2 of the Baba is, and I'm like,
right.
Okay, you gotta figure something else out. So it's not as completely freewheeling as I thought it was. It's I guess I would call it interesting, but they do limit what you can change by putting stuff in corners or in little walled-in areas that you can't really get to. So that's how they kind of control.
It's the confines of that puzzle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they control what they want you to be able to use and do. But yeah, it's a fun game. After hearing enough people say how great it was, I figured what the hell was on sale for like less than $10. So I downloaded that. So that's just kind of my time killer as I sit on the couch and watch my child wreak havoc in my house. But that's really all I've been playing recently.
Not a lot for me either. I bought Mario Maker 2, and it's so much fun. I've been doing I only really been doing the story mode because I've only been I honestly only think I picked up twice so far, and not like maybe put a couple hours in. The story mode feels almost like a mobile game, whereas like each level, they have 100 levels that Nintendo made, and you're going through, and the whole idea is you're trying to rebuild the princess's castle, and you do that by collecting coins in each individual level, and you use those coins to basically contract different toads to make different portions of the castle. And then after you've put enough money, quote unquote, coins into it, you got it's like a time-based thing. You gotta wait for it to build up. So that's why it feels like a mobile game. Like you put enough of currency into thing to make it build, then you gotta wait for it to build.
Right.
But it's not like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's more like you gotta play 4 levels. Okay. Every time you beat a level, every time you finish a level, another chunk of that piece of the castle gets rebuilt.
Okay.
I'm at 20% of that already. So I don't think it's going to take that long, but definitely got some really it's very unique Mario play, obviously, because they're making their own stuff, right. and they got some stuff you don't see in other Mario games, like the on-off switches and things like that. I never played 3D Land, so I had to learn some of the the language of 3D Land, like what the bells mean and things like that, and what I can do as Cat Mario because I have no idea.
Climb
and swipe and jump and
Cat Mario is awesome.
Cat Mario's really cool. Yeah, it's like it really says like, how do I get up there? Oh, I can climb.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really interesting. So yeah, it's been super fun, but it's also super early. I haven't tried any of the online stuff yet, so I just haven't yet. And then really it's just that and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which we're going to talk a lot more about here in a minute. So that's really all I've been playing. I've not been home.
Cool.
That's probably been playing the Switch. Anyway, Steak, what's coming out in the next couple of weeks?
All right, a couple big ones. So July 26th, Fire Emblem Three Houses is finally coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Also on July 26th, Wolfenstein Youngblood, PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah, I'll be talking about that next
Okay,
time.
I'm assuming we're all picking that up.
I'm like cautious about it just because I don't know how the co-op's going to play if you're not playing co-op. I don't think last couple times I've been online, no one's been online. Like I'm out of cycle right now, like everybody else. So
My cycle is still weekends.
mine's not. So that's mine's late weekdays. So that's why I haven't seen you.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. $30. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I keep forgetting it's not a
That's
full
the thing,
price game
it's $30
too.
bucks.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, 40 if you get the deluxe if you want to play with somebody. And then
Michael just play with himself.
yeah.
It's the best way to do it.
You only have to spend $30 for that.
And then this one like threw me off when I saw it. August 2nd, Madden 20.
Yeah.
PC, Xbox One, and PS4. This is usually like a third week of August kind of game.
I thought so too.
So this is super early for Madden. That's crazy.
They doing their trade-in deals yet?
I'm officially.
Oh, yeah, there are some
I
deals.
Think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't looked up yet. I'm officially that buying Madden every year guy now.
You are or aren't?
I am. I am. That
I
guy.
wasn't gonna buy it this year because I didn't play it that much last year.
I
But
played the shit out of it last
one
year.
of my biggest complaints for the past couple of years has been like there's no difference between the top players and then like the next tier of players. And apparently this year they made it. There's like 5 guys in the game who are 99
I think
Right,
it's like 4.
four.
or
Yeah.
4 or something.
Four.
And there's a
Khalil
more
Mack's one of them.
yeah. There's more of a gap between like star players and your average
Yep.
run of the mill
Yeah, right.
run of the mill player.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and that's something that one of the things I missed from like NCAA football
Yes.
was like your
Oh
5-star
my God.
recruits by their
Yes.
junior year would blow everybody else away.
Yeah, or you pass it to one of your 2-star recruits and he gets pounded
Yeah.
and fumbles the ball every damn time.
So I'm hoping Madden didn't go that far into things.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny with Madden how like what's old is new again. Like this used to be a thing, and now like the elite players have special skills
right.
that used to be a thing.
Right.
And they're like, it's a new feature. No, it's not.
Right.
You guys did this like 8 years ago. I remember it.
You just have a whole bunch of new hires. You don't know that's a new idea. That's an old idea.
You got a bunch of kids out of college who
This is the first year that they're bringing back some of the college teams too, right? Or was that last year too? Did they have that?
Well, they had like the wherever their
Well, they had the
Story
college
mode.
story mode, but this
Right.
year though, like when you're going through, there's like 8
yeah,
or something
there
like
are
that, like legit college
there
teams
are,
you get
but
to
I don't
choose
know.
from, right?
they're when they did the whatever the story mode
Yeah.
was like
Long
2 years
shot.
ago. Yeah, long shot.
Yeah.
They had like a handful of colleges in
Okay,
there. Like
okay.
like actual colleges.
Oh, okay.
This is the same way. Whatever their QB1, I think is what they're calling it, or something like that. Like whatever their new story mode is.
Right.
Doesn't have a. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, obviously.
Okay.
But I know they do start in college, and I think you do pick from a few different.
Okay, because I just remember
collegiate
them.
teams.
If I was, because I was thinking, I think I remember like one of the reveal trailers, like them like really showcasing that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat.
They're supposed to be doing more with franchise mode, which is pretty much what I play. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to read up on this later.
Cool.
All I heard about was the difference, like how they're putting more of a discrepancy between the top tier players
Right.
and the next tier.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Which we'll see how it plays out.
Okay.
I mean, it's like if you have Odell Beckham going up against a scrub corner, he
Oh,
should beat him. But
right.
if I put my safeties to that side of the field, that should help negate that. But
Right.
their top tier player will jump 35 feet in the air like Tecmo Super Bowl
Right.
and catch the ball at the third level of the stadium and come down and run for a touchdown. So
Yeah.
I mean, I want that for the realism aspect of it, but I feel like Madden's never been really great about implementing that stuff. So we'll see. If they have the normal trade-in deal, I'll get the game for $30 anyway. So.
Oh, there you go. I was saying, usually the first year they add something, it's a little rough, and then that second year is when it's actually like, oh wait, this is actually how we meant to do it.
Yeah. Right.
And then the third year, they're like, you know what, that didn't work at all. We're
You know what? We're
taking
just
it out.
taking it out. We're just gonna remove it.
And 7 years from now, we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
As a new feature.
Right. So that's it for the really big new releases. Xbox Game Pass got a few more added on. July 17th, Night Call on PC. On July 18th, Metal Gear Solid 5 for Xbox. and Banner Saga 3 for Xbox and PC. On July 25th, For the King is being added for Xbox and PC. Killer Instinct Definitive Edition for Xbox and PC.
Never played that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's very.
I love
good.
the old.
It's
I love the Super Nintendo game.
It was super underrated. Like I mean, it got good reviews, but it's just like a lot of people didn't end up playing it. It's great. And at first it was a little like, okay, this is interesting, and then but like.
Well, you can only play as like one guy, right? For like the longest time.
For the free to play one, yeah, exactly. But it's great. That was a nice thing when the Xbox One first came out. They sent me a code for the whole thing, so I got all the characters day one kind of thing. So that was kind of cool. So I never got that feel of it. So I understand where people were upset about that though. And then also on July 25th, Resident Evil 4 was coming to Xbox as well.
Finally.
Yeah. Well, 5 and 6 used to be on there. I think they're both off of there now.
5 is on Game Pass.
Is it still on there?
Yeah, 5's on Game Pass.
So 6 they must have taken off then, I think. Because I know they go on and off, on and off. I know.
I thought 5 just came back recently.
5 just came back.
Oh, it might have just. Oh, okay. Because and Revelations, the first one, just got on there recently too.
I never played those games either.
I played Revelations on the 3DS when it was first released, and that was super impressive for the 3DS. I actually had to go buy that adapter you put it in, so I could. Extra, before they had like the C button on the new 3DS for the camera, so you had to add like the triggers to help with that. But that was cool. Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Extra.
It's time for the news.
Finally. News.
The Switch news.
Yeah.
So Nintendo announced that they were releasing a new Switch, the Nintendo Switch Lite. And then, like a week later, they announced they're releasing a revision of the Nintendo Switch.
Original Switch.
Switch Heavy.
Yeah, Switch Heavy.
So let's start with Nintendo Switch Lite. Where are you specs? It's going to cost $200. Well, $199.99. It'll be released September 20th. You cannot detach the Joy-Cons. It's a one-piece machine. You can't dock it to the TV. It has a smaller 5.5-inch screen, weighs less than the original Switch, and it'll come in 3 colors, yellow, gray, and turquoise. It'll have a longer battery life, lasting from 3 to 7 hours.
And a D-pad.
And a D-pad.
Legit
and a D-pad instead of the buttons. It also doesn't support HD Rumble or the IR camera,
right?
Which are both Joy-Con features, so it makes sense. Thoughts on that?
The D-pad's cool. I think that makes that's like wow, that makes a lot of sense. If you're not going to take the Joy-Con off to turn it sideways to do something, like why would you not have a legit D-pad?
Yep.
The extra battery life, I think, is one of those like misnomer. I think it's a misnomer because I think the screen is
the smaller screen.
So it's the same battery.
Yeah,
basically, you're going to get an extra half hour to an hour out of it. That's super disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the other one here in a minute, but like. I don't know. Like I play my outside of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I pretty much only play my Switch in handheld mode. I don't know why I felt the need to play on the big screen for all the Marvel, but I did. Anyway, so like I'm almost always in handheld mode. But that being said, if I didn't have a Switch yet, I think I would still buy the original one just for the detachable Joy-Cons because if I wanted to multiplayer with the kids or something like that, or and it's a bigger screen. Like I want the bigger screen.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm with you on that. I play mine 98% handheld as well. Like it's just that is my handheld system. But I agree. And and then when they said, improved battery, I was like, okay, you kind of have my attention. Like, what are we talking here?
Right.
It's like okay, yeah, it's a little bit smaller screen, but like. Okay, but if I'm like on on the go on a longer trip, this might be worth it. But then when they were like, it's like what did you 3 to 7,
5 to 7, I think,
or something.
Man, let me change tabs again.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You know this memorized?
No. 3 to 7 hours.
Yeah, 3 to 7. It's like, okay, I'm like, all right, that's not that much better. Like, that's not worth spending $200 more on that.
Right, totally. But that all being said.
Jumping ahead to the next story, the specs for the current OG Switch is 2.5 to 6.5 hours.
Okay, so it's
a half hour more.
It's an extra half hour. That's just from the smaller screen. That's basically.
Yeah, see, I would not at all be surprised if someone opens that thing up. It's the same exact battery.
Agreed.
That all being said, I think this is going to sell like fucking hotcakes during the holiday season.
Absolutely,
all the kids who want to switch. Here's your Switch for like $200.
Sell like crazy.
That's what I've heard a lot of people saying that they're going to use this. Here's a Switch for the kids.
Yep.
There's less stuff to break on it because you can't take the controllers off.
Smaller for smaller hands.
Honestly, yeah. If my kid was old enough and he was always pawing at mine, I'd go buy one of these for sure, hands down.
Yep.
And the other thing I've heard people say is they're going to keep their, original Switch docked to their TV and buy one of these for travel if they travel a lot.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. I think it's a new. This is what Nintendo does, right?
Absolutely.
They put out some kind of redesign.
Yep.
Changes wherever the original form factor. I mean, it doesn't switch anymore, which is like my only thing. It's the
Nintendo thing.
It scratches my brain wrong. Yeah. But outside of that, I know there was a lot of people upset about this when they announced it. I don't know what they were thinking. No. Again, not everything's for everybody, and that's okay. This is still going to be for a lot of people, and I'm sure the people who were not complaining were the stockholders.
Yeah.
Were you complaining?
Oh, yeah.
No, you weren't complaining?
Yeah.
All right, good.
No. Fine with it. It's fine. It's fine.
No, and I agree.
Make more colors. Get that atomic purple, whatever everyone's clamoring for the N64 days.
They should make the atomic, or the clear purple.
Yeah.
The atomic purple is the clear purple.
Was it the clear one? Oh, okay. I was trying to remember because the GBA had the clear purple and the solid purple too. So I was trying to remember.
Yeah, when I originally got my Nintendo 64, it came with the second controller, and it was that purple.
Oh
one.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is Nintendo's way of saying okay, we've moved on from the 3DS. We're
100%.
officially moving on from the 3DS. This is the handheld. Yeah, this is it.
It was the last shovel of dirt.
Well, not only that, I think this is probably partially a reaction to how well received the 2DS was.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
The thing that everyone ridiculed when it was announced, and it was a huge seller for them.
I mean, you can find 2DSs everywhere. Good luck finding a 3DS. A 3DS is actually quite
you mean
difficult.
new in a box?
A new in a box.
Yeah,
the two DSs are everywhere, but the 3DS it's actually pretty difficult to find.
Yeah, I think it's Nintendo doing what Nintendo does. I think
it's exactly
it's gonna be doing well.
I know that's surprised by it.
This is right up there with different colored Joy-Cons, and
absolutely.
I'm shocked we haven't seen a different colored Pro Controller yet.
There's been some variety.
Well, they had the corded ones have
the cord ones do, but there was the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 one. They had a pink, pink grip on one side with the X going through it.
That's true.
Smash did have its own, didn't it?
I thought did they have its own, or did they have?
Or was it just a bundle? But it was a black
the GameCube
one.
Controllers.
Oh, the GameCube controllers I know had the Smash symbol.
Yeah, I know Smash always pushes the GameCube controllers big.
But for some reason I thought maybe it was just a bundle with the Pro controller. Maybe it was just a solid black controller. I
bought my black one.
I don't remember. Yeah,
it's
I bought my day one a long time ago.
I bought a black one. I think when I bought my Switch.
Me too. Yeah. And I'll tell you now that I've been using it with the.
It's fantastic.
It's such
a great controller.
Hey,
which is why I should use mine more.
I don't know if you guys have seen this. You guys play your Switch more than I do, but someone out there made a thing that you clip onto the Pro controller, and it holds the screen, and it's basically handheld using the Pro controller. Which
I need to do that.
I went out and bought the whole travel kit that has a case and everything just to get different grips because that thing is so thin it makes my hands hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like a 80-year-old woman with arthritis. Maybe 80-year-old person with arthritis. Men get arthritis too.
Maybe that's a feature in the future. We rate the controllers, the main controllers.
Hey, that'd be a good one. That'd be good.
We haven't had a good debate here.
I have most of them too. We can lay them all out.
That's true.
That could just be a video or a small series of videos.
That could be fun.
All right. Put that down in the plan for later.
Yeah.
You say patent pending. I'm sure there's 50 people at least doing this on YouTube already.
Of course.
All right. So the other Switch announcement that was made, Nintendo announced that they're releasing a new Switch model with longer battery life. It's going to be priced the same as the current model, and aside from the improved battery, it's the same specs. The new model's battery life will last between 4.5 and 9 hours, depending on the game. For Breath of the Wild, the battery will last for an estimated 5.5 hours. In comparison, the current model lasts about 3 hours for Breath of the Wild. The box will be different, but other than that, they're not naming it new Switch it's just Switch.
It's an improvement.
Damn it. This is the one I want.
Yeah, I know.
2 hours is a big deal.
Yeah, it kind of is.
So when they announced this, I thought, I'm like, all right, do I go on eBay, sell mine, buy a new one, for the limited amount of travel I do? But for the hit I'd take and what I have to pay for the new one, I might as well just go buy an Anchor battery pack and hook it up, put it on my bag.
And not have to deal with the whole file transfer thing with Nintendo services. Forget
awful.
that.
It's awful. Yeah. But no, and it sucks though. It's oh man, if anything, I was kind of hoping they would hold off doing something like that until we got that that Pro one. You know what I mean? Because you know they're eventually going to, like how they do with the new 3DS. The new 3DS had a little bit better specs, you know, some added features and stuff, and the processor was better, and there was games specifically for it.
Right.
Where this, it's like, okay, you can still do that without making additional games, but then the other ones run better, and we have a better battery, and like all these things, and it's just like that would have been nice.
And
then I would have done it in his heartbeat. Like,
well, yeah, if there's, I mean,
That's
more
the
than just the.
yeah.
Like I said, I can go buy a third-party thing that'll give me more battery life,
Right.
so it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got the battery pack, so.
I'm not that bothered by this because, well, there's ways around it to get more battery if you want it. But also, I mean, the Switch has been in the market for what, 2.5 years now? I mean, it's
Yeah.
It's like honestly like the peril of early adoption.
Yeah.
Adoptionship is not
Yeah.
a word. Early adoption, where it's like something bigger and better is going to come
absolutely,
out. But at the same point, would I have not want my last 2.5 years of Switch just to wait for this one?
Right, no.
No, of course not.
Of course not. No.
And like honestly, I'm almost happy as just this as opposed to like a new Switch, where it's just like, man, I
crap,
really
gotta
got to think
buy it.
about this.
Yeah, sure.
This one, I'm not going to think about at all. So like, good for people who want it.
Yeah.
Don't want it, not a big deal. It's the same price.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's going to be the only Switch going forward once they sell out of the old
yeah.
one.
I would
That's the
assume
plan. Is this is
Yeah.
going to be the primary Switch, and
Yeah.
once old stock is gone, that'll be the end of the original
That
build.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Nintendo being they're like not really being clear on how they're getting the extra battery life. They're not saying if it's a new battery or if they're changing the processor. They filed a patent modification for the patent for the Switch that involved a new processor. So they're not sure if that's just a more efficient processor that lets the current battery design last longer, or if it is actually a different battery.
That's interesting. I don't
Well,
know.
and and people are curious about that too because obviously when they get those in, they're going to test them because they're like,
Oh, yeah.
we wonder if they're going to get a little bit better gameplay from some stuff because if the processor, I mean, if it's a new processor potentially, I mean, even without them saying it, it could just, if it runs everything better,
Right.
You know what I mean, more efficient, but then also, I mean, it could run potentially the games better too. So for some of these,
Right. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see when it comes out.
You should buy one.
No, absolutely not.
I will say if I were to get one of the lights, I'd get that Pokemon one.
Oh yeah,
that one's
yeah.
awesome.
Were they doing? I know there's two different Pokemons, but aren't they doing like slightly different color variations for each one, or is it the same one for both games? Like they're gonna bundle a Switch Lite with
Oh,
Pokemon.
it's the same one for both.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but because it's got the blue. It's one of the Joy-Con. One of the sides is blue. The other one's magenta, and it's like a gray. And on the back, it's got like the etching of both of the legendaries from both games on the back of it. But it just looks super sharp. It looks really nice, and that's coming out November 8th, the week before.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
that one so
that one's a little
variation is
later.
coming out later than
Yeah.
the 3 base colors, whatever I said they were. I forget it already.
That's right. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Cool. So now, review in progress of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So I've loved these games. I know you love these games. This is published by Nintendo, and it was I'm blanking on the developer. Oh yeah, I'll say it. Team Ninja. Thank you. It's $59.99. And Steak's 1 sentence review is the Ultimate Alliance you know and love is back, which I agree with. It was basically
Someone did their homework.
I didn't think we were doing a full review. I thought we were doing a review in progress.
You are.
My homework's in progress.
That's still my review in progress sentence.
Yeah. No, and like it's
For my first 4 or 5 hours of playing.
yeah. So I've played. I probably played a little bit more than that, but I think I did a little more of the grindy pieces of it. I think you're further in the story than I am.
I have not touched any of that.
I
stuff
did
yet.
about 2 hours of the
Okay,
Infinity
okay.
stuff, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
So and I think I've heard in like 20, 25-ish hours to beat if you're kind of only dabbling in that and mainlining a little bit. So
That with the Infinity stuff.
Right.
Is around that. Yeah.
Like dabbling in that, 'cause you gotta have to.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think they're saying the average story is about 12 to 14.
Really?
I want to say if you're just
mainlining
going,
it?
if you're mainlining the story, be line there. But if you don't do, that's not doing any of the other stuff though.
So this is even though it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, this is definitely a new game, a new story path, and it's picking up on the current MCU beats of Infinity Stones and Thanos and the whole deal and the Black Order,
but in its own way,
100%,
which is awesome. I was a little worried about that.
Yeah, I was worried about a little bit of the aping the MCU stuff, but it really does feel kind of like it's more comic booky,
yes,
than
big
anything
time,
else.
big time.
So like the beat to beat is just like the other games. Yeah, a 4-player kind of crawling. It's almost dungeon crawly, but you're not in any dungeons. Like you're always in like, the raft from Spider-Man's stories, or you're from
Xavier's school.
Xavier's
Outside
school.
of Xavier's
Yeah, exactly.
school.
The Avengers Tower for
Avengers
one.
Tower,
So I mean,
yep.
you're in like locales that you know.
Yep.
And you're just going through and just doing story missions, and you're just constantly picking up new heroes.
Oh yeah.
Like
oh my
all
God.
the time. To the very first part, at the end of the very first,
intimidating
you
a
start
little
off as Guardians of the Galaxy, and by the time you're done with them, like you have like 20 people you can pick, and it's just like every time they introduce a new character to you, they do like a splash screen where it's like they give them their
my
name
God.
and like a one-line sentence.
Oh my God, some of them are hilarious.
They're very clever, and like. At the end of that story, it was just like this person and 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 this person, and it was just like, whoa! Like I have all of these guys now. But like but it feels just like those old games where you're just crawling through. You pick your team of 4, you smash the X Y button and I think
Y
B.
and X. Y and X.
Is Y and X? I don't know. I don't know the Nintendo buttons.
B, I know, I'm thinking, okay, B's
Triangle and
B's at the
square.
bottom. B's
Y
the
and B.
B is the jump.
Yeah.
Triangle and circle.
Left.
I'm just trying to give you a point of reference
Square
where they are on
and
the
triangle.
controller.
Yeah.
Square and
Yeah,
triangle.
so square and triangle. So square, yeah.
You sure it's not X and Y?
So that's
It probably is X and Y.
X, Y. X
Yeah,
at the
you're right.
top,
Yeah, yeah.
Y is in the left. So Y is your light attack, X is your heavy attack.
Correct. It's always I gotta remember it's backwards.
X, Y,
from-
A, B.
Yeah, right. So yeah. You got heavy attacks, light attacks. You have superpowers, and as you level up, you get more and more superpowers,
Yep.
and you can level up those superpowers.
Yep.
So there's a lot to gain, a lot
You
to
have
go through.
synergy attacks, which you team up so you use one of your powers alongside another hero's power for like a little more effect, like a little bit bigger effect.
I don't think it uses as much as your power either.
Correct.
When you do that,
Right.
like the other person like who you're teaming up with, it doesn't use like that much as their power.
Right.
And there's like when you're playing it, there's a lot going on in the screen.
there's so much going on.
There's a lot of people. There's
Yeah.
a lot of just effects
Yeah.
and animations. One of the things that happens is like if I'm just doing the single player, and one of my other teammates is doing one of their attacks, a yellow arrow will come up in the screen like, do you want to also like team up with them and do it?
Okay.
And you press A.
It shows A, and then you do it.
You'll do
yeah.
it. So
I was wondering, like, if you're doing multiplayer in this, is it like a consensual thing, or do I just get to take your powers without telling you?
press A for consent.
Yeah.
Like, do I have to give you permission to drain my power to do your thing?
Yeah, so it's like they get that yellow arrow, and then like I said, and so it's kind of like when you're just like fighting, you see it and you hit it. It's kind of neat to have that feeling,
Yeah.
like it's like the AI character is actually working with you.
Yeah.
which is kind of neat and different.
Yeah. And there's times when
This is not a video game thing. This doesn't happen.
Well, it's nice too because there's times when if you're just using your own power but not the synergy power of it, just your own.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a hero next to you, they'll do it sometimes too.
Right.
They'll just automatically they'll be like, oh,
Okay.
I can match that, and they'll do it with you,
Right.
and then they'll do that synergy attack with you, which is really cool, like and very smart, surprisingly.
Yeah, so you got your attacks, you got your powers, and then you have your ultimate power, which is press L and R, whatever the version of that is on the Nintendo controller, and that's like your big attack, and everyone has a different one, and it's like really big. You can't really put them together. Like if you have one and I have one, like you can't like team up and do like a special one, but you can do yours and I can do mine at the same time, and it becomes like a big area effect. So even when you're playing as when you playing with computer players, like I can jam out 4 times, and all 4 of my guys will all do their ultimate attack at the same time.
Yeah, and you don't have to use like just one or all 4. You can actually pick how many. So you have 4 with all your 4, and it's by the rings too. So like the rings where your health and your power is, there's a yellow bar that fills up, and when it's shining, that means that character can use their ultimate attack. So you can do up to a certain amount.
Want to take care of that?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about the story, I guess then, if you don't mind. Very good. So the main story is like you start off as the Guardians of the Galaxy, and shocker, you come across the Infinity Stone. The very first one you get is you get one in, and Star-Lord accidentally activates it and teleports the Guardians of the Galaxy to Earth. along with all the stones. So now all the stones are on Earth. Everyone knows it, and all the supervillains are trying to get it. So like not even just Thanos, like Green Goblin's trying to get it, and all the main villains from Marvel universe is trying to get these things. So the whole idea is you're going from A to B to C to D to pick all these things up. That's kind of one of my things that's a little bit jarring about it. Is just like there's no transition. Like you just Avengers Tower, here we go. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like where we got to go next. We got to go to this place. All right, and you just appear there. There's no like transition to get to where you're going, which is weird.
So is it like when you're going through the story mode? Is it like I know you said there's no transition, so there's not really a lot of storytelling going from point A to point B, but is it linear? Is it like you finish this place and you go to the next place? There's not a map you're picking from?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, you go to the next place. Usually at the end of the level, there's a chance to talk to some different heroes. Like each level, you do pick up some heroes. Like in the raft, you're picking up Spider-Man and all the Spider people, like Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales and things like, and Miss Marvel.
Spider people.
All the Spider people. And then when you get to and they kind of like have them like based in like in worlds. And the next one, you're picking up like Luke Cage and Daredevil and Iron Fist, like all together because they kind of go together. So at the end of that, usually at the end of their level, like those people are standing around, you kind of talk to them, recruit them to your team, and then there's usually one person with like a exclamation point, like there would be Nick Fury or Jessica Jones or whoever it is that you need to talk to advance to the next level. Mm-hmm. So yes, like I've gotten, like I said, I'm probably about a third to halfway done with the story, and it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters at all. Like this, like I said, this game for me is just purely comfort food. Kind of mindless. Like you gotta pay a little bit of attention, especially when your people are dying, and you gotta make sure that you're picking people up, or you gotta make sure that if someone needs to get the red orb to get healthy, make sure that person gets the red orb, and you're not just blindly picking up health that's not doing you any good.
So when you're playing with the AI characters, are you always control one, or can you switch between them?
You can switch at any time. Okay. Yeah, you can switch around. So like that's very useful, especially if you got some guy in there. If I have like Wolverine has absolutely no ranged attacks.
Right.
So like if I need someone to get, like they have someone shooting up on the rooftop, I'll switch over to Spider-Man, either zip up there or shoot webs up there to knock those guys out. And it's super quick. Like it's just a D-pad, up, down, left, right, and you get all four of your characters right then and there. The levels aren't as dense as I remember them being in the previous games. Like I remember just smashing things constantly. It's like, isn't it like when you're playing like Diablo or any of those dungeon crawlers, you're constantly trying to find stuff to smash so you get orbs and you get health and you get coins and you get all kinds of stuff. This one, there's a little bit of that, but not a lot of it.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if I'm just not supposed to have that, or they're really trying to push people into this. There's another part of the game called the Infinity piece of the game where you're going back and it's like a trial, like a challenge. Where the very first boss you see is Nebula. Mm-hmm. You fight her in the main story. The very first Infinity, I don't know what they call it. It's like Infinity Rift or something like that. Okay. When you go there the very first time, it gives you an option. You're fighting Nebula again, and you gotta, beat her in under a minute, or do X amount of damage with a team up attack, and you get all these 3 stars. Well, more stars you get, more rewards you get.
Sure.
And that's really kind of the only way to level up some guys as you go. Because one of the things that I found as well that I'm not a huge fan of is I kind of have like my 4 guys I really like to use.
Yeah.
But that means all my other guys are in the dust. So I'm going to have like a bunch of people that are like levels upon levels behind everybody else. One of the rewards you get is an XP booster. And they have like small ones and big ones. And you can use those to kind of catch people up. Or if you want to have someone who's like super overpowered, you can do that too. But since there's so many, like when you go to the character select screen, and you can swap them out periodically. Like there's spots, like there's basically like save spots throughout the game, where you can go there, you can access the Infinity Rift, or you can change your characters out. When you change your characters out, it gives you it's like a fighting game screen. Okay, but not like Mortal Kombat.
Like the old Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, exactly.
A giant checkerboard.
It's huge, and I have a bunch of it not filled in yet. So I'm doing that classic like RPG thing where I have all these things. I don't want to use any of them because I don't want to waste them on something. I don't. I'm gonna die with a full like arsenal of health.
You should use that potion. I don't want to.
I'm gonna need it for the last boss. Well, I just beat the last boss. Well, I don't know why I have this anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I should have used all those potions.
So that's one of those things that it's like I wish there was some I wish it would, because when you pick up a new character, that new character is at the level that is appropriate for that area.
Right.
So like if I pick up a new character, I'm at like level 8 or 9 or 10. Usually they'll be in that realm, and I can, if I want to start with them, I can start with them and be on pace with everybody else. But if I'm like, I don't really want to, I don't really like the new powers for, again, Wolverine. I can't. It's hard to like go back to somebody who's at level 6 when I'm at level like 18 already.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a lot of resources to use. I may not even have all those. And I mean, you do level up quicker because you are fighting a higher level bad guys when you're going along. But overall, it's just like I just wish they had even like just like a half progression, just something to kind of keep them in line with everybody else.
Yeah, I know. Like the most recent game I played like that was Final Fantasy VII. And it's like the 3 people that are in your party level up much, get more XP, level up much faster. But the rest of the people that you have, like they trickles XP to them a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a quick, easy fix of something that they could do. I mean, granted, I do like using the characters I have because I have a nice range of everything I need.
Right.
And also, like in all the levels too, they have secrets, and the only ways you can access some of the secrets is by doing a team up attack. And it seems like if you don't have those characters, well, you just don't get that secret. So like, but pretty much all the
you can come back later when you do have those.
Yeah, exactly, which I don't want to do. So like, it seems like Wolverine and Thor always have the combination I need to open up any lock I've been getting to. So I keep Thor on there because he's a powerhouse, and Wolverine there because he just really can't die because he constantly regains health is one of his things. So it's nice to have something like that on your team just in case stuff goes bad.
With stuff like that and even the challenge mode, do you think like they worried too much about replayability?
I don't know if they worry about that. I just think that maybe halfway. Again, this is just pure speculation, obviously.
Sure. Yeah,
out.
I mean,
but it feels like they were trying to fix that leveling up problem, and they put this on there instead because it's not really super fun to redo that kind of stuff. But I definitely did feel motivated to do it just to get my characters a little bit of a boost. Because even like I wasn't only using new characters in the Infinity pieces of it. I was using my main characters in there just so I can be like 1 or 2 levels above where I really should be in the game, so I can have a little easier time, obviously.
Right.
But the rewards are worth it, so I mean that's okay. But I don't know. It just feels like something that is kind of tacked onto the side. It feels like something that was. It's not fun to replay stuff over and over again. That's one of my things. That's why I don't play roguelikes and likes because I'm not a big fan of playing the same thing over and over again. But this is my only chance to get someone from a level 6 to a level 11 or 12 in any way, shape, or form. So I have to do it this way.
Right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's going on there.
When you level up your characters, I mean, obviously they get stronger. They can probably take more abuse. Mm-hmm. Do you unlock any like different attacks for them or different outfits? Yes. Or
I know there's in the Rift too. When you get stars, you can unlock outfits. But ultimately, when you're going through, you get access to new powers. So on level 5 you have 1 power. Level 10 you have 2 powers now. And for every 5 levels you seem to get a power, and with every level up you get basically a token you can spend on upgrading that level, that power, I should say.
Okay.
So it'll take 5 XP levels to update this thing. But I gotta wait to level up 5 times before I can do it. So there's so much currency in this game. That's another thing too. Like there's the XP orbs, and there's the ability orbs, and then there's that. I didn't even talk about that grid of that power grid thing yet. I haven't gotten to that yet.
The grid is huge.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to fill this up in no time. Then I open up another like sector of it.
Yeah. Son of a.
So, you hit it, as soon as you buy whatever's at the points, it unlocks a whole nother big one of it, and then, but those ones are interesting because then if you buy everything within those, there's a huge perk in the middle that you'll gain access to. But from what I've been reading, it's like we're talking like multiple playthroughs to actually unlock that stuff.
I was kind of saying, I felt like there's a lot of things in this game that want you to play a lot of it. Like it wants you to play like again that Infinity. I think it's Infinity Rifts. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I believe it.
So it's like those things. Like I'm just constantly. I fought Nebula like 7 times, and like I just like the last 3, I was just like, I'm just doing this for this last perk or a few coins or whatever, whatever it was. I wasn't doing just for the heck of it. However, when I did finish those 7 times, that grid was just like, so much of it filled out because I had so many coins from just doing that over and over and over again. So like,
did you talk about how there's only certain characters you can unlock in the Infinity Grid Rifts?
No.
So in the Infinity mode, there's 2, Elektra and someone else, I believe, that you have to like complete. It's kind of to unlock characters.
I thought
you have to play through some of the stuff in the Infinity in there to unlock them.
I thought I had Elektra. I get your point though. Yeah, which
is nice.
Yeah,
which is really cool. It gives you a reason.
Yeah, there's that, and I said no. I know when you get you get the challenges, you get the 3 stars, and the more stars you get different costumes and things like that as you go along too. So, and there's plenty of carrots on the end of that stick for sure. But like I was saying, like my main positive is just like it's familiar, it's kind of mindless, I enjoy those other games. I enjoy these characters. I am really liking this game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I am enjoying it so much. I mean, there's been a little technical issues here and there, but no big whatever. I can look past those. Like
I was gonna say, do you guys feel it's limited at all by being only on the Switch?
No, not at all. I think it looks fine. It looks comic booky, which is actually being on the Switch is kind of nice because it actually gives it that feel and look to it. I think on the Xbox and stuff, like because of the art design they went for, it might have looked a little too polished, maybe. I don't want to say that, and I don't mean like in a bad way, but like I kind of like the way it is, like because on the Switch.
I definitely noticed a frame rate improvement when I docked it.
Okay, I haven't done that yet, so I
kind of
really
significantly.
Like much like you, I'm like as I'm playing this, like I've been playing just strictly handheld, but at the same time I'm like, man, I really want to play this on the TV though.
Yeah, and man, like when you're playing this handheld, like man, there is just so much stuff going on the screen right now. Like I've definitely lost characters.
I've lost track of my characters multiple times. Yeah. I mean, there are times when you are in like small rooms or tight corners when the camera kind of gets a little wonky and you can't even see your character at all. So you got to kind of run around to get away from that.
You can outline. That's fine.
Yeah. But no, I think it's really interesting what they did with this. The art design is excellent. Some of the things they do in the levels are very cool. When you're in Hell's Kitchen, there's a part when you're running through and it's like it's just a silhouette, and then you're fighting all these ninjas and it's a silhouette. And it's like, this is cool.
It's very Kill Bill.
This is really neat.
They definitely have some moment. They definitely have I feel like every level has almost like one key artistic flair moment to it, where they figure out some way to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Whether it be with the stone or just with like the overall level design.
Right. Yeah. No. It's they did a great job. I'm super enjoying it. And like I said, the little things that are wrong or not wrong, but issues with it or whatever, I easily can overlook. I don't think it doesn't affect anyone's gameplay. Like I know some people were complaining a lot about the frame rate and stuff. I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think so either.
I mean, the only times I notice it is on the extreme attacks, but there's so much going on that
I'm activating all 4 at once.
Who cares? Yeah. Anytime I use it, I'm using all 4. That's when I use it.
And not only that, this is a totally... Yeah, go ahead. This is... do you have any final moments? Or are you good?
I will in a second.
All right, good. So, this is totally apologist of me, and I don't care. But it almost feels good, when you're doing all those things at once, almost slow down. Otherwise, I can't tell what the hell's going on anyway. The slowdown almost helps me actually see what the heck's going on.
It's a happy little accident.
Kind of is. What's your main 4 guys you go with, or do you constantly switch out?
I was constantly switching out for a while. Because it's funny because I thought my main was going to be Spider-Man, Miles, Spider-Gwen, and Venom. And I thought it was going to be my 4.
The Spider people.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But actually right now my main group, and I'm actually really happy with this group right now, is Wolverine, Nightcrawler.
Oh, I haven't got Nightcrawler yet.
Deadpool, and Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is one I'm thinking about swapping in because mine's Wolverine, Thor, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Gwen. Because I was saying Thor's like a powerhouse, and he has a really good his team up move with Captain Marvel is just they both go forward and just knock out just a bunch of people at once.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So it's I'm clearing rooms with those 2 guys.
Yeah, for sure. And I was actually using Wasp for a while when I did get Wasp.
Okay.
I was really because I was using her with what was I using that with? I think it was Thor's lightning in her tornado, and it was just wrecking people, which was amazing. But so far though, my favorite introduction has been Deadpool.
I haven't gotten him yet.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So you hear him before you see him.
Sounds about right.
When you start hearing something what the hell is that? look inside the building. That's all I'm going to
Okay.
say. There's a window. Look inside the building.
I will. I think that's really all I got. I know you're busy right now. Do you have any like final moments or final touches or anything else you want to go over real quick?
No, I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to dive in more. I hear that the area I just got to is the hardest part of the
Okay.
game. So we'll see what happens there, which means I might have to go start doing some of those Infinity Rifts. I haven't even touched any of them yet, so I'm gonna have to go there, do some grinding and stuff. Because my I think when I enter that area, it says level 24, and my highest character is 22. So I'm a little under leveled right now. But no, I'm loving it. If you love Ultimate Alliance, go get it. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just comfort food. It's junk food. It's not great, but it is super fun. So I definitely highly recommend it. All right, we're gonna let Steak go be a dad here. But Art, do you got anything else? Anything you wanna? Any other questions? Any burning questions?
No, not really.
All right. Then that's kind of it for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, Steakheads.